My mother-in-law keeps calling my baby hers, and I'm starting to get scared. I 27F had my first baby 3 months ago, and I thought motherhood was going to be the hardest, scariest part of my life. Turns out, the real fear isn't the sleepless nights or the crying, it's my mother-in-law. I don't say that lightly. I used to think she was just a little intense. Overbearing, yes. Pushy, absolutely. But dangerous? No. I always assumed she was one of those dramatic grandmas who cries at every ultrasound picture and buys the baby outfit 6 sizes too big. Nothing serious. But the moment I got pregnant, something in her shifted. It started small. She'd talk to my belly and say, "Grandma can't wait to meet her baby." At first I brushed it off. She's old school, she gets emotional, whatever. But when I gently said, "She's our baby," she would smile weirdly and say, "You're just borrowing her until she gets here." Borrowing? I didn't even know what that meant. As my pregnancy progressed, she got bolder. She told people I was carrying her child. She referred to herself as mama in front of guests. When I corrected her, politely, she'd laugh and say, "Well, I raised your husband, so technically that makes this my baby too." I tried to convince myself she was joking, but the tone never sounded like a joke. Whenever I mentioned birth plans, she insisted she would be in the delivery room. I told her no, I wanted it to be just me and my husband. She acted betrayed. She even cried to my husband about it, saying I was excluding the real mother. That phrase stuck with me. I brushed it off as her being dramatic, but it never left my mind. Then the baby was born. And everything went from weird to horrifying. The first time she visited, she shoved past my husband and took the baby straight from my arms. No asking. No greeting. She just scooped her up and whispered, "You're finally home." Home? My own house suddenly felt like it didn't belong to me. Anytime she held the baby, she would walk away to a different room and close the door behind her. I would follow immediately and knock, and she'd sigh dramatically and say, "Can't a grandmother have a few private moments with her baby?" Her baby. She said it constantly. Every correction I made was ignored. When the baby was 2 weeks old, my family came to meet her. My mother-in-law kept interrupting every single introduction, saying, "This is my baby," and physically taking her out of people's arms. She yanked my daughter away from my own mother. My mom looked stunned, and honestly. So was I that night. I told my husband how uncomfortable I was, how she was crossing boundaries, how scared I was starting to feel. He said she was just excited and accused me of being sensitive because I was postpartum. I cried myself to sleep out of pure frustration. The biggest red flag, the one that made my stomach drop, happened when my baby was about 6 weeks old. I was in the kitchen washing bottles while my mother-in-law played with the baby in the living room. Everything seemed normal until I heard her talking in this strange, soothing tone. I walked out quietly and heard her say, "Don't worry, Nana's going to take care of you. One day you'll live with me where you belong." I felt cold. Frozen. Shocked. She didn't know I was behind her until I said her name. She jumped, startled, and immediately switched to baby talk like nothing happened. When I confronted her, she denied everything and said I misheard because I was tired. After that moment, I didn't let her be alone with my daughter for even 5 seconds. I started keeping the diaper bag locked in our bedroom because I suddenly had this horrible fear she'd try to walk out with the baby. My husband still thought I was being dramatic. Until last week. We had just finished putting the baby down for a nap when he stepped outside to grab a package and caught his mother sitting in her car in our driveway. Waiting. When he asked what she was doing, she said she just wanted to see if the baby was awake so she could take her for a little visit. A little visit, without asking. Without us. Without permission. That finally cracked something in him. He told her she needed to go home. She started crying, screaming that I had turned him against her, that I was trying to steal her daughter. He corrected her, "She's our daughter, Mom," and her face twisted in a way I will never forget. Rage. Real rage. Since then, my mother-in-law has been blowing up both our phones, alternating between guilt-tripping, fake apologies, and straight-up delusional claims that the baby belongs with her. She even texted me a picture of a nursery she set up in her house, pink walls, crib, rocking chair, with the caption, "She'll be so happy here." My husband finally blocked her. I changed my locks the same day. Now I can't shake the fear that she wasn't just fantasizing, she was planning. I don't know if I'm overreacting, I don't know if I'm just a hormonal new mom. But every instinct in my body is screaming that something is wrong. That my baby is not safe around this woman. So now I'm asking strangers on the internet what I can't ask my own family. Am I overreacting? Or is my mother-in-law actually trying to take my child?